Session 434, Chapter 3, verses 104 and 105.
وَلْتَكُن مِّنكُمْ أُمَّةٌ يَدْعُونَ إِلَى الْخَيْرِ وَيَأْمُرُونَ بِالْمَعْرُوفِ وَيَنْهَوْنَ عَنِ الْمُنكَرِ وَأُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُفْلِحُونَ وَلَا تَكُونُوا كَالَّذِينَ تَفَرَّقُوا وَاخْتَلَفُوا مِن بَعْدِ مَا جَاءَهُمُ الْبَيِّنَاتُ وَأُولَئِكَ لَهُمْ عَذَابٌ عَظِيمٌ.
Let there be a community among you who call to the good, enjoin the right, and forbid the wrong. They are the ones who have success. Chapter 3, verse 104. The word community, translated from the Arabic Ummah, sometimes refers to a particular group, such as the Arab nation or the German nation. Sometimes it is used to denote the entire religion of Islam. Ummah is occasionally used to refer to a specific period of time. God says, "The one of them who had been saved then said, remembering after a long period of time, I will tell you what it signifies, so send me out." Chapter 12, verse 45. The verse above is part of the story of our beloved Joseph. A man for whom Joseph interpreted a dream remembered him after a period of time, that is, Ummah. We find other examples in the Quran where the word Ummah is used to describe a person with numerous exceptional qualities. God says, Abraham was a community in himself, exemplary, obedient to Allah, and a man of pure natural belief. He was not one of the idolaters. Chapter 16, verse 120. Prophet Abraham, peace be upon him, embodied the best qualities of humanity. Thus, Allah referred to him as a community or ummah. A multitude of good qualities are not often found in one person. Instead, they are divided among many individuals. You may know a generous person here, a knowledgeable one there, and so on. But Abraham possessed all the good qualities of an entire community within him. This brings us back to the verse. What does it mean when we tell a person, allow yourself to be brave? It means that they should come out of their comfort zone, shed fear, and embrace bravery. And that can only happen through self-discipline. Similarly, when God says, let there be a community among you who call to the good and enjoin the right and forbid the wrong, it means that there must be a group that calls toward good among the believers. There is, however, a deeper understanding of the verse as an invitation to the entire Muslim community, not just a few individuals, to be righteous and give good advice. Hence, there should not be a group specialized to enjoin good and prevent vice. Instead, it is incumbent upon the entire Muslim nation to perform this noble task. Some scholars explained that this verse applies to all Muslims, including sinners. In other words, even if you do something wrong, you still have the duty of preventing others from doing it. As a believer, Allah requires two things from you. The first is not to do evil, and the second is to advise others against doing evil. Therefore, if someone who has sinned advises you not to do the same, do not rush and say, "Why don't you fix yourself first before you preach to me?" A poet said, "Take my knowledge and don't incline to my actions. Reap the fruits and leave the branch for the fire." Of course, it is far better to avoid sin and advise others to avoid it. Otherwise, you may become a part of those addressed in the following verse. O you who believe, why do you say what you do not do? How despicable it is in the sight of Allah that you should say what you do not do. Chapter 61, verses 2 and 3. We find another proof that the phrase, let there be a community among you who call to the good, is a command to every believer in chapter 103 of the Quran. God says, "By time, man is certainly in deep loss, except for those who believe, do good deeds, urge one another to the truth, and urge one another to steadfastness." Chapter 103. This short chapter clarifies the heavenly doctrine and its requirements: faith, good deeds, patience, and sound advice. Note that God used the phrase urge one another, not urge others, so we understand that good advice is mutual. You may sometimes find yourself spiritually weak while your friends feel firm. Hence, they push you in the right direction. On other occasions, you may advise your friend to stay away from sin. Thus, no specific people, group, or agency has the job of enjoining good or preventing vice. Instead, the matter is mutual and a duty for every Muslim. This is solidarity in faith. It protects against the ever-changing state of the human heart. When we see a believer weakening in faith, we must urge him towards the truth, expecting nothing less from our brothers and sisters. This is how we understand the verse, "Let there be a community among you who call to the good, enjoin the right, and forbid the wrong." As for previous nations, corruption had crept in until no one minded sin. Thus the heavens intervened and sent a new messenger to restore faith. God says, "Those among the children of Israel who defied God were cursed through the words of David and Jesus, son of Mary, because they disobeyed and persistently overstepped the limits. They would not restrain one another from any of the wrong things that they did. How vile were the things they used to do." Chapter 5, verse 78 and 79. The verse ends with, "They are the ones who have success." Here we should take a moment to understand the word success, translated from the Arabic root falaha. It has the same root used for tilling the land and planting crops. If you put in the effort to plow the soil, sow the seeds, and care for the budding plants, you will reap a great harvest. Every seed you put in the ground gives you hundreds of seeds or fruits in return. In the Quran, Allah uses words such as muflihun to describe success because it has a tangible material equivalent to our day-to-day lives. Allah wants to turn your attention to the fact that all the hard work and patience required to call to the good, enjoin the right, and forbid the wrong will reap great rewards hereafter. You are, in essence, sowing the seeds of success for yourself and your family. God says, "The example of those who expend their wealth in the way of God is that of a grain of corn from which 7 ears grow, each ear containing 100 grains. Truly God multiplies for whomsoever he will, for God is infinite and all-wise." Chapter 2, verse 261. An intelligent farmer invests and sows seeds in their land. In return, the earth will more than quadruple the investment. A foolish farmer is afraid to take out any seeds from the silo because planting some will decrease the amount in storage. If the earth, which is one of God's creations, gives abundantly once you invest in it, how about the Creator of the earth? What kind of return on investment does He have for you? Islam never takes from you. Instead, it multiplies what you invest many times over, and through such examples, Allah encourages you to invest in your faith and community. A busy farmer has soiled hands, dirty clothes, and a sweaty forehead, but they will be supremely pleased at the time of harvest. A lazy farmer may look clean for now, but they have a very tough year ahead and no way to feed their family. In other words, hard work pays. Likewise, do not consider religious obligations a burden. They are your ticket to a very comfortable and everlasting hereafter. In the next verse of Al Imran, Allah warns us, "Do not be like those who, after they have been given clear revelation, split into factions and fall into disputes. A terrible punishment awaits such people." Chapter 3, verse 105.
The Prophet, peace be upon him, said, "Convey my teachings to the people, even if it is only a single verse." Please take a moment to subscribe and to share with your family and friends. Visit us at www.qurangarden.com.